Welcome to another edition of the Columbia Cougars Coaches Show here on Mediacom Channel 22. My name is Cosmo from Zimmer Radio Group. With me, the first segment is the Athletic Director of Columbia College and the head men's basketball coach, Bob Burchard. Welcome.
Thanks, Cosmo. It's good to be here, and it's been great to have the show through the season.
We've enjoyed it very much, having a lot of fun talking hoops. It's kind of hard to believe in some regards that basketball season is over. It seems like just the other day we started up the basketball version of the show and talking about walking into the Southwell complex as you have a practice and trying to figure out, other than Taylor Evans and Greg Stegman, who everybody else was with so many new faces. And the task at hand was to get them to gel into a team, and you managed to pull quite a feat off this season.
Well, I think we're really proud of the work that our guys put in, Cosmo. There were obviously a lot of new guys, and you talk about it's hard to believe to get to this point. I think that's kind of amazing in these journeys. You know, you start and you get all wrapped up in the season, and then you get to the end and you go, well, it went by real fast, you know. And I think that's certainly the case this year. I think the thing I was most pleased with was the consistency of effort throughout our year. When you look back at the total body of work, we only had 6 losses on the season. Of those losses, all of them were to national tournament teams, and that's very unusual in a season. Typically, you have a loss somewhere along the line that is almost unexplainable,
Right.
And we might have had that loss, but it took place against a national tournament team, and I just have been very happy that we had a consistent work ethic as we marched our way through the year.
Both in the classroom and on the floor success. I know that Greg Stegman and Taylor Evans were rewarded with some of their scholar athlete team members and national honors. I know that's a very important part of the mission at Columbia College is obviously their work in the classroom and on the basketball court as well. You have to be very proud of Greg, especially your senior. What was the stat? He missed, one game in his entire 4-year career or something along those lines, and played in every game this season.
It's pretty amazing. And you go back to that term consistency, yeah, I would say that it really fits Greg. I think some things that really are pleasing to me with him are that he wasn't an academic All-American last year. NAI scholar athlete is the term that we use. And he was in that position where we thought if he put in great work that he could get his GPA to where he'd be recognized at that level. And he did. He was very intentional about getting to that point, and it was really great to see that work pay off. I think the second thing is that he was mentioned as an honorable mention All-American. And when you look at stats, what person gets put into that category when they average 8 points a game?
Right.
Very few people.
Yeah, not quite 5 rebounds a game average, yeah.
And so some group out there really identified the qualities that he brought to our team and to put him into that classification. And I'm very proud of that because truly he has been the anchor for our program for several years. He's probably one of the best post defenders that I've coached. He's a very intelligent player and person, and to see him recognized in both those categories, I think is a real tribute to the work that he put in. And I can say a lot of the same things about Taylor Evans. Taylor reached junior status. His GPA has always been off the charts, and so once you get to junior status, you qualify for that award. And it's really, I'm really happy that our team had 2 on that list.
226 points for Taylor this year, and he led the team at the free throw line with 79%, about 7 points a game average for number 32. Pretty solid numbers, and it's played in, if the stat is correct, every single game since he's been at Columbia College. It is 3 seasons.
It's another interesting, just a side note, Cosmo, is this team, you were talking about all the new players, our starting lineup didn't change from the first game to the last. And that very rarely happens. I mean, and either some things happen that take people off the court, injuries, et cetera, or I start messing around with it. And neither one of those things occurred with this group. And Taylor, obviously, again, is just a real consistent effort. To kind of put things in perspective in terms of the scholar athlete, that list came out In NAI Division I men's basketball, there's somewhere around 1,500 players. There were only 59
Wow.
that achieved that level out of NAI Division I. So that's a pretty good percentage to be recognized in.
Most definitely. You got a couple of them on your squad, and really look at Taylor. The 3 years, the freshman year is the year you have the infamous blue and white squads, and you make the run all the way to the title game there in Kansas City, and then the sophomore year was all the injuries and the different, back and forth. And this year it seems again another solid performance from Taylor, and everything kind of gelled together for you. They said the 26-6 final record. And we'll talk a little bit later about the national tournament in Kansas City, a heartbreaker of a loss for you guys there in KC. And we'll have you back on with Mike Davis as well coming up a little bit later in the Coach's Show. Congratulations on a great season.
Thanks, Cosmo.
Coach Bob Burchard of the Columbia College Cougars men's squad. We'll have Mike Davis from the ladies squad. A perfect season in conference play. We'll talk about that and more next on the Columbia Cougars Coach's Show here on MediaCom Channel 22.